I don't know if you guys can tell, but that is some dry, graceful bamboo, not on irrigation. We are in dry season, tail end of February. Second video today with Tanner. Kind of going to try to get into the meat and potatoes of the business, how he's doing this year, what he's grossing, and have him talk about actually making a living doing this. I think it's pretty interesting, but yeah, we need some rain. It is dry season. We're probably not going to get any rain down here until the beginning of June. That can be very typical in Florida. Spring is our dry season. It usually doesn't rain in March, doesn't rain in April, doesn't rain in May. If you do, you're very lucky. So we need some rain. Obviously, all of these crops out here are being irrigated. Actually, you can see some irrigation going right now over in that area. That is a flower zone. They plan on doing some cut flowers. Riley, that works with Tanner, has been working that area. And they've been farming this area now since August or September, whatever Tanner said in the last video. And they've been battling some weeds out here, but other than that, this has looked pretty good. We are getting towards the tail end of season. Oh, look at this fancy stuff. Oh, he's got the Tesla with him today. Rushes.
Sponsored by Ryobi, dude.
You need to get sponsored by Ryobi. What are you doing with this thing? Is this some more of your appropriate technology?
Yeah, dude, you left me with a lot of weeds in this field.
Oh, I don't even want to hear that. We're blame Nick.
Yeah.
Nick left this weed. All right.
So yeah, when we kind of like when we came into here, it was like heavy weedy, dog fennel, all kinds of stuff, and so we just kind of crimped it all and tarped it. And then we didn't really have the bandwidth at that time to like put new mulch down or anything. So like this block for this season has just been very weedy, but that's okay. You know, we're dealing with it. So all that to say, we had leeks in here that we harvested the other day.
Okay.
So all the leeks are out.
And those just weeds?
Those are just weeds, dude.
Wow.
What is that stuff?
I don't know. You guys, I think, are overwatering. What's going on here?
I don't know, dude. Whatever this is.
I think you guys brought these with you.
No way.
You think Nick brought them over for you?
I've never seen these before. Like, we don't have these at our place, so it's like ground cover. It like kind of grows like a ground cover. But anyway. Maybe
you should put the bag on, bag it up, and get the seed out of here, huh?
Well, we're just gonna smother it.
Okay.
So I'm mowing it. We're gonna tarp it. We're gonna kill it, and then we'll take some of that mulch and just top dress this stuff.
You noticed I brought you some new mulch.
I did. Thank you for that.
Yeah. See how that works out.
Yeah,
huh?
That was great. So yeah, that's kind of the plan. And then at the end of the season, we'll do a heavy mulch again. Just the whole block will get mulched, and then we'll cover crop. And then next season we should have a pretty weed-free slate.
Nice.
But this season we're just fighting some weeds, man. You know.
Yeah.
But that's it's been pretty fun. This season so far we've done like 50K, which is pretty okay considering, you know, we're like 2 weeks past half the midpoint of the season. And we're hitting spring now, which is kind of like, which feels like that's our big boom because the tomato crop comes in and all that. So 50K halfway through the season. So yeah, we've scaled it a bit because that Jim was doing, like those earlier videos were like, he was doing like 5K a week or something. Was the advertisement? I think I'm remembering.
I don't know if it was quite that high.
Like those early videos, that was a while ago though. And then he or 5K a month was
a month. Yes,
okay,
yes,
yeah.
Yes.
That was like the big one.
That's a little pushing it. Yeah.
A while back. Yeah. So.
And they didn't believe that.
Yeah, they didn't believe that. So we're doing well over that. I think we'll get to that like 120 mark on what we're currently farming. And then my labor costs are lower than they were last season because me and Jim split everything 50-50. So it's probably about a quarter of what it was, which is nice.
With just 2 part-time employees?
With 2 part-time employees.
Nice.
And then next season though, like if we, you know, this space has been almost like part-time farmed. Like that's why it's weedy. That's why like most of the focus has been over there. But if we bring one of those employees to be full-time, we can really farm this place a little more intensively, get the right amendments down, get it really like dialed in.
More attention to detail.
Yeah. And we'll be able to like get that number up.
So that's scalable. You're pushing for 150 next year, it sounds like.
Maybe more, yeah.
Maybe more.
Maybe
okay.
More.
That's right. The front field's kind of new. That only started halfway through season.
Which front field?
Where we just were in the last video.
That started halfway through season, and yeah, so who knows what.
And the flowers haven't kicked in yet.
And the flowers haven't kicked in yet.
Those are coming too.
Yeah, those are coming too. Right. So yeah, we're doing a lot more than what Jim was doing. That's for certain. And it feels viable. Feels like we're paying the bills, so it's good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, that's what I like to hear.
Yeah. Well, we're just mowing right now, and then we're gonna tarp, and then we're gonna put new layer of mulch down to then plant. I have the nurseries full with, you know, whatever's gonna be coming out here next. And the only reason I'm mowing is just to break this up a little bit more so that it'll break down a little faster. So these tree rows we were not going to plant early because they were so shady, but then that hurricane came through and just knocked out everything.
It's amazing what a good frost will do, huh?
Yeah. Well, it was your frost. It was the frost, but it was also that hurricane. Like, you know, all this stuff was just toppled, and then you guys came through and cut everything. So I was like, okay, let's do it. And I was still a little skeptical with sunn, but overall things are actually performing well. I'm seeing that there is some slug out here damage that I've never experienced.
Okay.
So like early, these were just getting like super holy. Yeah, these guys. These little snails.
Nice. Can we market those?
Yeah, I don't know.
Be high in protein or something.
You know about these guys?
It's like a mini apple snail, you know? See if we can grow them out and eat them.
Dude, so these things love this crop. Like, from the beginning that these went in, they started getting screwed up. So I actually bought Sluggo.
What is that crop?
This is Tokyo Bacana.
Okay, we definitely wouldn't have guessed that one.
It's a brassica, but
it kind of looked like a broccoli-like flower, but it kind of looks like lettuce too. So
right,
what is this?
So they kind of call it like a cross between like a bok choy and lettuce kind of vibe. But yeah, it's a good sautéed green. But I also grow it for our salad mix, younger. But then it heads. It makes like a nice head, like a cabbage almost. And then we'll cut those, and we sell the heads to restaurants as a romaine alternative because it grows way better than romaine does.
Nice.
Yeah.
You picked up any new restaurants?
New since our last video? I don't think so. Those restaurants are just kind of like, we're just like scaling with those restaurants so far.
They're taking a little more each time.
Okay. So yeah, so even roots are doing well in this like partial shade. They've been in a little longer than what we would like, but we're starting to get root development on these, which is nice. And then all the lettuces are like really into the shade we're finding. Like it's beautiful, man.
So they're happy.
They're happy,
nice.
Yeah. And this is really interesting. I mean, I don't know how much had happened here, like prior, like what kind of like amendments Nick put through here when he did the tomatoes or anything, but we didn't put down anything. There's no fertilizer in these beds at all. So this is just like, okay, let's see how it goes, and everything is really taking off considering.
Had to be that proprietary compost tea mix that was put down.
yeah, maybe that's what it was.
Hey.
Yeah. So yeah, lots of lettuce.
Nice. Whoa. Well, this lane's not quite perfectly straight here, Tanner.
That's from those lateral roots, man. They just
Oh my gosh.
You know, I got to snake around them. So yeah, what I do when I next season, as long as this doesn't become total shade, I will just I'll probably just not use the paper potted here anymore, and we'll just move to janged crops or larger brassicas or something, because the paper pot just gets hung up on all those roots,
catching all the tree roots.
So I'm like going through with a knife and just like having to cut the root
to get it to
pull through. Yeah,
that's a pain in the butt.
Yeah,
okay.
Sucks.
You're getting some interesting weed growth here.
Yeah, dude. I don't know what this stuff is, but it's
I think you guys imported some new weeds.
I don't think
we didn't have those before
yes,
you came.
You did.
No way.
They're 100%.
Oh my gosh.
100%. That's all bolted bok choy. That's from that frost that came through. Just like made them all
pissed it off,
made it all go. So I'm gonna mow that as well today.
Cool.
And yeah, so same thing in here. We're gonna try to get get mulch down, cover crop this summer with something really dense that that will be like a nice mulch in place situation. At my house, we grew like a mix of cowpea, sun hemp, and sorghum, sudan grass.
Okay.
And the sorghum, a lot of people don't like it. A lot of people love it, especially people who use tillage. But a lot of people who don't use tillage don't like it because it needs to be tarped. Otherwise, it'll just keep growing back from those roots. So we're just gonna implement we're gonna start using tarps in the summer so that we can use sorghum, because it is just like, the biomass accumulation is like off the charts, and it makes a gorgeous like hay in place. So if you were gonna do a transplanted crop, just kind of like, you know, Jim with the grass, you just part that grass and put your broccoli in or whatever. Doesn't work with the paper pot, but
okay.
And then we planted some larger.
I see you snuck some stuff in the row too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of this is just like, okay, we have some extra broccoli at my farm. Let's go see how they do in these tree rows. And I'm just like really impressed with, you know, how, so that's all Mombasa hay, I guess.
Oh yeah.
And it's just, it's
that
enough.
grass is amazing.
Yeah. So that's also going to be great. That this is all just going to accumulate so much, and we can use that in the, you know, chop it, drop it. So yeah, I'll be doing some maintenance for you, man. That sound good to you?
Are you gonna cut all these bananas back too?
I can.
I'm holding you to that. It's on camera now.
Okay, I'll do it.
All right.
But you got to tell me how you want to manage them, because everyone's got their own, you know.
I think for now, just getting the brown off of there.
Okay.
Step one. And then, you know, we can keep them thinned down to just a couple. The fruiting ones, you know, just for lighting reasons. That makes sense too.
Well, yeah, for us, like, yeah, we need to talk about that. But yeah, as far as like for lights purposes, if these tree rows are going to continue to get planted, then yeah, thinning is going to be crucial too, or pruning, you know. But yeah, so this is an example of, there's some early weeds showing up, but like these lettuces were planted, I don't know, a couple weeks ago now, and we did a superficial mulch layer before we planted these, and you can see the weed pressure is just considerably lower.
Yeah. I think a lot of the weeds I'm seeing out here too are wintertime weeds. You know, like they shouldn't be the same weeds when we get back to the summertime.
No, but we'll be back to Biden's and dog fennel.
Oh, dog fennel too.
There's not as much sedge here, so I need to be really careful with that. Like, I really don't want to intro it because it's so easy to intro. There is some on this outside layer.
I saw it in that corner over there.
Yeah. And the only way to get rid of it would be for you to come through with your front end loader and just dig a freaking hole, and then you could take it to the dump or something. And then,
get that stuff out of here.
Yeah.
Huh?
There's no other way, dude. It is incredible. My kids dug a like 3-foot hole in my backyard the other day. It was ridiculous. They dug this freaking pool for themselves, and the nutsedge
is all the way down there?
So deep in there, dude. It is just...
That's a nightmare.
How are you going to get rid of it? There's just no way to do it. So it's like, I'm just learning to work with it. In the summer, I'll cover crop super dense. And then at the beginning of season, we'll just, in those places that are heavily sedge, we'll just put those larger brassica crops and stuff that can kind of work, that'll outgrow it, you know?
Makes sense.
But man, it's not fun, that nutsedge.
All right, I'm gonna let you get back to your lawnmower unless you got any other highlights out here for me. What do you think?
Nah, that's good. That's all good. Yeah. Oh, here's a cool crop.
Oh, you got a cool crop. All right.
This is chrysanthemum.
What?
Chrysanthemum.
Okay, heard of it.
So if you're trying to get all your leaves in, huh?
Yeah. Got to build that microbiome.
That's a really tasty leaf.
Like a good tasty?
Yeah, like it's a really nice like zest. They use it in Asian cuisine a lot. So we're gonna start
try to eat 30 different green leaves every week. See how that works out.
So there's this farm. I've been super inspired by this farm in Connecticut called Asawaga, and they grow a ton of Asian varietals of herbs and things, and they bunch these like this. You know, maybe
and rubber band them up.
Yeah, you know, a bunch of these together. And it looks so pretty, and they really taste nice.
That's a nice look to it.
Yeah, and it's also like we're just growing it also for our lettuce mix, because you know it's a nice new textured.
So you're mixing that one in the mix.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Our mix is wild.
It's a little different.
It's a little different than my boy Jim's. Jim's was like basically just lettuce.
Is it getting the hippie twist to it or what?
Nah, no hippie shit in there.
No hippie shit. All right.
Just like
you're keeping those perennial greens out.
All colonizer crops. No, but yeah, it's definitely different because, especially because we had to adapt from the salt over at our place.
I like it.
Pounder, dude.
Hey, wait.
Yeah.
They're probably like, how do I buy his veg?
Okay.
Are you doing any new markets? What's the deal? How do they find you like they found Jim?
Yeah.
Other than Instagram, you know.
It's all THEO'Sharvest.com is where all the CSA shares are sold.
You got a website?
I do. I got a website, man. But that's the best way to support the farm is like that. It is just so helpful for us to get those little blips of cash through the season. And then outside of that, Tasty Tuesday Market, we're still there. We're at Wright's Market every other Sunday. And then all these restaurants. Go to those restaurants because some of them, man, you know, like
where can we go eat your veg?
Yeah, so Estuary in Newport Richey.
Dank.
It's so good. And, you know, yeah, James is just like solid. Can't say enough about that dude.
And for Valentine's Day, it's
yeah,
legit.
Oh, you did, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And him, just like as a human, like he went to, he spent time in Australia. He's worked with so many different chefs, and he's bringing such a cool thing to Newport Richey, which is new and exciting.
Yeah, go support him because sometimes it's slow. I feel like that price doesn't deserve to be slow.
No, it doesn't, dude. He deserves better.
Yeah.
Crown and Bowl, which is like our monster restaurant. They're the bread and butter. They're our bread and butter.
Okay.
And then Little Lamb, which is another concept of James's in Safety Harbor.
Really?
Yeah.
So you got 3 restaurants?
3.
Wow, it's at the burger place now too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the Tides buys from us sometimes, which is a cool place. They support all the local farms.
Is Brick still getting any of your stuff, or?
No, I need to go in there.
You do?
They told me to go in there.
Shake them up a little.
Yeah. But yeah, those are the major restaurants. Cara in Dunedin also buys from us.
That place is legit.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
All right, they changed the whole menu there every 3 months, right?
Yeah, they're really doing it, dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, now we get the pound dirt.
Cool.
All right, pretty cool to see Jim's old van over here still in action, still kicking. Cool little follow-up here. I wanted to show you guys how much Tanner was actually farming here. I'm going to try to do another video with Riley when she starts harvesting some of the flowers, but I really wanted to give you some of the meat and the potatoes, show you how he's scaling the business, show you what he's scaling the business with, some of that appropriate technology, some of the interesting weeds we're getting, this and that. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to hit that subscribe button, pound that bell to stay notified. Most importantly, pound some dirt.